So now we're going to talk about how to factor trinomials. The leading coefficient here is still 1. We're going to add a number there later. And we want to look at this last term and when the last term is negative. Okay? So just like we said before, this last term is a product and the middle term is a sum. That's always the same. That's always the case when you've got a trinomial. It came from two binomials that were multiplied together. Last term's a product, middle term's a sum. So if the last term is negative and it came from a product, what does that mean of the two things you multiplied? The signs have to be different. Okay? So we have this trinomial that we're going to factor into two binomials. This is the last time for right now. This first term, y squared, is going to be y times y. Okay? Now, negative 20. How could I get a negative 20? Well, I think of my factors of 20. I could have 1 and 20. The 1 could be negative. I could have 1 and 20. The 20 could be negative. If I add those, combine those, do I get 8? No. So I could have 2 and negative 10. I could have negative 2 and positive 10. That would give me negative 20, which two, when I add, would give me negative 8. These two. So when I come over here, I'm going to have y plus 2 and y minus 10. Again, you can check this by multiplying. You've got your y squared minus 10y plus 2y gives you the minus 8y. 2 times negative 10 gives you the negative 20. So that is the factored form of that trinomial. Next we have x squared plus x minus 6. Remember that there is a 1 here. So I'm looking for factors of negative 6 that when I add them, I get 1. If you need to, you can list factors. We could say 1 and negative 6. We could say negative 6 and 1. Neither one of those, when I add, give me 1. We could say 3 and negative 2. We could say negative 2 and 3. Either of those that I can combine and get a positive 1. Actually, I just gave those same thing twice, didn't I? 3 and negative 2 or negative 3. I did that 2 times, didn't I? Just realized that. Sorry about that. 3 and negative 2, negative 3 and positive 2. Which of these can I combine and get 1? I can do that. 3 and negative 2, so I have x plus 3, x minus 2. Always, always, always check. X squared minus 2x plus 3x gives me the 1x. 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 6. Now, I have another trinomial that ends in negative 6, but this time the sum has to be negative 5. So I look at my pairs of factors. 1, negative 6, negative 1, positive 6. Do either of those, when I combine, give me a negative 5? Yes. 1, negative 6. So I'm found my factors. So y plus 1, y minus 6. You could check it. Mostly you need to check the outer and the inner. So negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Keep in mind, it would be okay to write these the other way. That's commutative, okay? But it would not be okay to change the signs. That would be wrong because that would give you the wrong sign in the middle. So the parentheses can swap places, the signs cannot. Here are two for you to try on your own. Pause the video and try to factor these two trinomials, and then you can check your work. Alright, there you go. If I did it correctly, I've got b plus 3 times the quantity b minus 7. I've got my negative 7 plus 3 gives me the negative 4. And then y plus 7 times y minus 5 plus 7 gives me the plus 2. You're not going to have to list factors every time. If you can look at it and think about it and figure it out, go for it. But if you're ever stuck, start listing factors and see what you can find.